What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. Today I have an expanded Dragapult Garbodor deck that's a bit different than the popular lists that have been going around for this archetype in the expanded format. So if you're interested in expanded Dragapult Garbodor or interesting decks, then stick around. Thanks for coming by, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already for daily Pokemon TCG content, and check out my sponsor PotownStore.com if you're looking for PTCGO codes. Be sure to use code Celio for 5% off. So I'll also have gameplay following this video, so I'll keep the deck profile following the deck profile portion of the video, so I'll try to keep the deck profile portion a little bit brief, since if you're interested in expanded and this deck, you've probably already seen similar lists, except I'm playing some Counter Energy and 2 Counter Energy attackers, but I also want to talk about other Counter Energy attackers that could go into the deck. So the idea of the Dragapult Garbodor deck, also known as Trashapult, is you want to use Max Phantom early to swing 130, put 5 damage counters somewhere else, and set up knockouts with Trashapult for later on, while ability locking sometimes with Garbodor. Depending on the matchup, Garbotoxin may be more or less important. So yeah, you spread some damage with Max Phantom, maybe even attack and take knockouts with Max Phantom, but after you've hit 130 on the active, 5 damage on the bench, a lot of decks will have already played a lot of items down, so then Trashapult can just clean up knockouts from there. The Horror Energy, Special Energy is really useful as well, to add a little bit more damage into the mix. And Counter Energy is an older Special Energy card that reads, if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, and if this card is attached to a Pokemon that is not GX or EX, this card provides every type of energy and 2 at a time. So this completely fulfills Max Phantom if your opponent's already taken prize cards and you haven't, so you're behind on prizes. Max Phantom can be fulfilled for just 1 energy. As well as Crazy Claws on Sableye V, which for 2 dark does 10 plus, 60 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So if you hit something for 5 damage counters on the bench with Max Phantom, this swings for 310 just for the single Counter Energy attachment. And Sudowoodo with Watch and Learn is really good against fighting weak decks. If Pika uses Full Blitz, you could knock them out. If Pika VMAX attacks, you can knock them out. If Snorlax, VMAX, Zoroark GX, any of those things, Watch and Learn takes a big old knockout with just 1 single Counter Energy attached to you. So the problem with Dragapult is that it can be overrun really quickly by aggressive decks. So like Pikarom that pops off, throws all their energy on for Tag Bolt, can run through if they get a turn 1 Full Blitz going first or going second. And an easy counter to this is Sudowoodo Watch and Learn, because typically if, let's say you start out with a Dragapult, attach, pass, your opponent goes Electropower, Full Blitz, boom, powers up for Tag Bolt to just win the game next turn, you can just offset this with Teammates for Sudowoodo Counter Energy Watch and Learn, and then that problem is solved. Sableye V is a really cool card, but I do think there's other Counter Energy attacker possibilities. So I think Mimikyu, the fairy one with Copycat, is a good option, because this can one-shot ADP, and it can also one-shot Teenachomp. And it could also one-shot Zacian after Brave Blade. And I also think the fairy Tapu Lele with damage swap seems pretty cool. Or magical swap. Because if you did like 2 Max Phantoms but took no knockouts, that's going to be 360 damage on your opponent's board that you can move around with magical swap. So I think that's a pretty cool option as well. But there's a lot you could do with also Wobbuffet, but there's a lot you could do with Counter Energy, especially with V Pokemon. But yeah, Bide Barricade's cool. If it's active, then nothing except Psychic Pokemon have abilities, and Psychic Assault is just like a really watered down version of Sableye's Crazy Claws. So there's a lot you can do with Counter Energy. I'm only playing 2, but I do have Guzma Hala as well as Teammates. Guzma Hala is also nice because you can just grab your Float Stone for Garbotoxin, your Horror Energy for Trashapult, plus Chaotic Swell to just bump their stadium. I've considered Shrine of Punishments in this deck as well, but I think that would probably be better in like a Coco Tapu Lele kind of focused deck. Maybe just cut Dragapult altogether and make a Garbodor counter box, which I do think people have made and expanded. But yeah, so I think this deck is really cool. It's just a twist on the original Trashapult and expanded. Also, another neat combo to note is that you can use Counter Energy for Dragapult with after your opponent's taken a prize card, do Max Phantom. It gets hit. Next turn, Acerola up the Dragapult, replace it with Sudowoodo or Sableye, attach Counter Energy to the new Pokemon and take a big knockout, or just cycle Dragapult VMAX with Acerola. Typically with this deck, you're only going to use Dragapult VMAX, one Dragapult VMAX, but because of the Acerola, maybe you can set up a second Dragapult V Acerola, reattach Counter Energy, boom. Which isn't possible if you're not playing Counter Energies because it needs two separate energy attachments otherwise. So yeah, that's the deck profile. Enjoy the gameplay. I'll put the list to this in the description down below if you want to try it out for yourself. And thank you for watching. Going first with a very good start. Yeah, I don't think it matters which Trubbish I start with. I really didn't have to bench that yet, but I'm just going to slap it down as soon as the turn starts. I guess I might want to prepare for a Vikavolt. Okay. None of my important mons are prized. Let's check Counter Energy. We have one Counter Energy prize. Fine. I think the best move is this. Crobat. Then we'll toss this and hold on to Lele in case of a Vikavolt. Pass. So I like to kind of overextend when I'm playing against Pika, because you never know when a Vikavolt turn is going to happen. Especially when I'm starting out with Trubbish here, like Vikavolt Muscle Band or Vikavolt Electro Power is really realistic. So it's more realistic than when you're playing with a big deck. Your opponent might not want to just swing for like 70 or 80 or 50 and item lock, but when they can also take a prize card, it's I think it's a lot more likely to happen. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items in the discard already. So Trashapult doing 120, 140 with a band. A float that I can potentially Field Blower. Okay, so there's energy on Vikavolt and Electro Power comes down. We're about to draw 5. That's 7 items. We just send out Dragapult, so our hand is like super good for this. Let's go here and teammates for Draga. We don't need that because I have Lele. Another Trubbish might be really good. Ooh, we are low on energy. There's a play I see where I Acerola Sableye Counter Energy, and currently due to... Do we grab this? Because due to the item lock, I can't versus Seeker teammates to get the Counter Energy. But maybe Trashapult is just better. Let's grab this and threaten Trashapult, I think. Okay. Okay, energy to Peak. Peak's already damaged. The Vikavolt has a ton of damage on it. Okay, and putting them to 5 cards, so they'll need like a Dedenne to continue the turn here. Our hand's decent. Let's see if they hit the elixir. Okay, so they hit the elixir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Trashapult is doing 2 hundo already, so counter energy attackers probably won't even be needed. Okay, paralyzing bolt, that's fine. This hand's definitely not as good as my last hand, but well, I'm never swinging with this after this because I don't want to leave a 2-prizer active. The Lele got end into my deck, so I would be able to Lele Acerola Trashapult here. But they do have to have triple E-power Tag Bolt to kill the Dragapult VMAX, so maybe I'm just fine. Because there's also Float Stone already on the Pika, so it can't have Muscle Band, but they could Field Blower it, then replace it with Muscle Band. My end doesn't really hurt them, but I also don't think I want to Juniper away double Float Stone. If I put 50 on this and they hit in, another Dragapult could actually be decent. I don't think I'm playing Sableye down. I'll just end. Oh, this is good. Don't need to play that down. We'll play this down because it takes a turn to evolve. Sudowoodo can just get slapped down. I could attach this. I could play down Sudowoodo attached, so I have the attachment there, and if then they don't knock anything out, I'm just like good to go. Yeah, maybe it's fine to do that, because like the Lele seems great, but like I only can't play Lele if none of my Pokemon get knocked out next turn. And if none of my Pokemon don't, if nothing gets knocked out next turn, I'm just so far ahead already. So I think it's fine to fill up the last bench spot, take the knockout. 50, do we put 50 on the peak? Because, okay, so right now it has, if I swing, it'll have 60 left, and this does 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll put 2 on the peak. And then probably just, wait, no, I'm doing my math wrong. So if it has 50, I do 130. That's 180. It takes double from this. So that's 40, that's 220. So this is 20. Okay, great. Then I'll put the remaining 3 over here. So this just feels like a board that Pikarom cannot really handle. Well, I guess, so if Pikarom's able to set up without using a bunch of items, then sure, they'll be fine in this situation, because they could just kill the Sudowoodo. The Dragapult's not a threat next turn, because they don't take the horror energy damage. But it's pretty hard for Pikarom to, like, do anything in the early game without dumping, like, 7, 8 items into the discard pile. And then to just keep going from there, you need a couple items a turn most of the time. And that's just like the fault of a deck being very heavily item built, which big basic decks typically are. And there's also not a lot of stuff that faults the decks for being built like that. Just like in standard right now, you can just play as many items as you want because there's nothing to stop it. So I really like when you're able to play something that can either stop all that item play or punish it. Which there's plenty of stuff like that available in expanded between Dragapult, Garbodor, other Garbodor decks, Seismitoad, Vikavolt, which Pikarom does itself with Vikavolt, Vileplume. Okay, so full blitz. Go on to the other Pika. Now this Pika with Thunder Mountain. Okay, so this is how this deck takes care of business. This is the win con. Okay, so playing down the Sudowoodo was a misplay, because if I didn't, I could just Lele for Acerola, pick up the Dragapult, so that ends up being a misplay there. Now they have a 2-card hand. I just need it to not include Guzma, and I think I'm fine. Yeah, I wasn't accounting for Tag Bolt, which was really bad of me. Just in the deck here a little bit. Yeah, that was really kind of oblivious of me to not look at that tag bolt. The tag bolt play they could set up with Thunder Mountain plus having an energy plus Guzma, but also pretty small hand, so is it possible? Yeah. Is it likely? I don't think so. Okay, so quick ball for nothing, and then full blitz. So the Sudowoodo is rendered useless. A quick ball for nothing, so that means there was no Dedenne left. Huh. Okay, then we just crash a launch here. And trash lunch for a bunch. So yeah, that could have, wait, there were no Guzmas played yet? Yeah, so that was actually really scary if they had any draw support left in the deck. A 1 energy max Phantom. And if they don't knock out the Trubbish, then I threaten a Trashapult, so that seems good to me. I hate getting rid of so much energy. Maybe I don't have to. We can get rid of a Float Stone. We'll grab this to threaten. Question is, do we also grab a Dragapult? We have N. We could have computer searched this and Float Stone away for a teammate. That would have been good. That sounds like a great play, actually. Because then I don't have to grab that Garbodor that I might not even use. Yeah, so I think teammates there was even better. Or Mysterious Treasure for Lele, maybe. But I already had N, so I wasn't thinking about a supporter. There's just so many options here. I could computer search the N and Psychic Energy away for the Lele. Because computer search might not be usable next turn. So we have Lele in deck. Do we have teammates in deck? We have teammates in deck. Okay. We have... The only trash lunch is the one in our hand. Okay. So we'll grab Lele. So whatever we need, we can grab it next turn if the Trubbish is knocked out. And pass. Okay. The Counter Energy adds a really nice depth to the deck. I'm not positive that Sudowoodo and Sableye are the best Counter Energy attackers. I think Sableye V is really cool, so I have him in there for now. I think Damage Swap Lele could be cool. I think Copycat Mimikyu Fairy type seems very good, because that is good against Tina Chomp and also good against ADP. And Zacian in general. Okay, N away that hand into an icky hand. This hand is icky. Yeah, not the best. This makes things a little interesting, at least. One, two, three, four, five, 6 items. Electric Power was played already. The top deck could change things. So in this scenario, playing that computer search early for the Lele, obviously it's in preparation for item lock, but it's also not hurting our consistency after N plus item lock, because we can't use the computer search anyway, unless we were to draw it with the Ranger, of course. But the odds of that happening are not very great. So we're going to send up the Dedenne here. I'll see, I was going to Ranger, Float Stone, Trubbish versus Seeker for next turn supporter. But then we went and drew a Juniper. Now there are only two Dragapults in the deck. But there's a lot of outs because it's Mysterious Treasure, but the Mysterious Treasures aren't doing it for us right now. This is rough. So they knock out the den, they go down to 3 prizes, then we can do... Item lock is just hard. I think I have to sack a Trubbish. Yeah. Okay, so Ranger versus Seeker for N. Oh, that seems so bad. We do 160 with Jet Assault, but that's terrible as well. I could get Ranger back, Garbage Collection, Treasure, or Computer Search. Or Garbage Collection to Trubbish, so I get the bench of Trubbish. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. It's nice that the counter ability of things like Eternatus exist in Expanded, because like Vigavolt in Expanded and Standard isn't even that strong, and it doesn't allow for these kind of like decisions and different lines of play and stuff. And then in Expanded, just Vigavolt being in Pikarom makes the game so much more interesting. Okay, Full Blitz to Trub. Oh, this opens up a sick line because of my Garbage Collection there. Okay, all energy to peak. So I forget if my second counter energy is prized, so we're gonna have to see. We don't have to use that ranger anymore, so get rid of that. Oh, let's go. So that garbage collection treasure, oh, that was stupid good. So I can just go teammates for pseudo counter. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, I will say there's a glaring issue with this. So now my we're at 3 to 4 prizes. After they knock out Sudowoodo, we're back to 3 to 3 prizes, and now my counter energy is the only thing on the board. Because I don't have a Trubbish down, but if I wanted to do that play and guarantee it with teammates, I could not get Trubbish down at the same time. So I don't have any great attacker options next turn. The flash energy's down on Boltund, but it wasn't down soon enough to protect the Pika. But now we're at this is a weird position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items. That's not enough to be relevant for Sudowoodo. Wait, did I say it's not enough to be relevant for Sudowoodo? That was gibberish. That sense didn't even make sense. I mean, it's not enough to be able to knock out Pika Run, but then I was also thinking, can I recycle the Sudowoodo? Many thoughts. Okay, I think we're they have such a big hand, and I want to end that, but then I'm also ending myself. Okay, Quick Ball Junie. Look at this. I was going to end, but now I'm thinking I need to get energy down, right? Or I need them to take a prize card. So Dragapult's working. That's also a thing. Okay, we'll leave treasure in the deck. Let's end, because, like, if I don't get energy, I can just retreat to Trubbish. Or I can have Crobat. That works. And still not get energy. So the end doesn't even hurt them that much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fine there. They're down 1 Guzma, 1 versus Seeker. So I definitely want to end them. Yeah, have to end. Okay, we got Dragapult. Max Phantom with the Counter Energy. And I believe we need to put 3 here. I'm not sure if it matters anywhere else. I'll put 2 there. Okay, this is close. One, 2, 3, 4. If they have Guzma and 1 energy, they win. So it looks like not Guzma and energy. Okay, so that means no energy in the hand. Versus Seeker Ultra Ball. Okay. With Fun Elixir. The issue is I don't have Guzma in the discard pile. That is certainly an issue. Oh, 1 card away. Oh, that's 1 card away from game. If I just had a Garbodor down. No, it's not. That I just said I don't have Guzma, so literally just not. It doesn't even matter. Actually, this is a great draw because I can versus Seeker research. Yeah, I don't think I can take the chance with versus Seeker and just to lower their hand by 2. Can't play Teammates because something wasn't knocked out. Would have lost if something was knocked out. Okay. Let's see what's in the deck. What are we working with? No, I shouldn't have switched the Float and Muscle Band because I needed this to take the extra damage for the Guzma play. But I didn't have Guzma, so I couldn't do the Guzma play. They're down a lot of energy. I might just win here. We'll take Trashapult. Retreat, swing with a single prizer. We're down 3 E-Power, Float on there, can't Muscle Band. Down the Muscle Band anyway. Could be like energy switch Guzma for game. Down an energy switch, that's good. I don't have it. Alright, that's just game then. G.